Good morning again. Namaskar again. Dobara. Second video because last was disturbed. This is May 21, 2020. Suraj Singh, engineer, international professional engineer, Bharat India and chartered engineer Bharat India, speaking from Faridabad, NCR, Bharat India, regarding issue of Corona, issue of SARS-2 and COVID, and also management issues. As usual, it's a continuation of previously because previous was disturbed due to signals or due to whatever reason. You may consider that. And this is my certification. I usually show to just let you know what you should be or should find. And chartered year certification is that. Now I was talking about certain social issues, national issues, character issues, what we are. I'm not interested in that, but just because I have to talk to you to something about COVID, I try to explain what this corona is and what we have to consider it and how to deal with this. Actually, we should not be worried about much. We should not worry too much about this, but only have precautions which are more important than something else. Because when there is no solution to something, you have to control yourself. Self control is best. We know self control. In our saying, there you control yourself, you control whole world. So, by panic, by being nervous, by thinking someone has come to kill me, everywhere there is some enemy, in universe. You can't avoid that. It's up to you whether you make your enemy your friend. If you make enemy your friend, you're best person. You're a best treater. You're best psychologist. If you have a capacity to adopt your enemy as your friend, I think you're best psychologist. You're best practitioner. If you can accept your enemy as your friend, and then you amend that enemy, modify that enemy to your requirement. That should be your approach. It's like just like that, you have certain subject, you can't understand that easily, but you are behind that subject, and you say, "Oh, I have learned it. I have understood this." And this not because you have understood. You worked hard for that, and you spend energy on that. You concentrated on that, and that's only way that you can say, "I have learned it." My question is, why is somebody your enemy? You have to question yourself. Why is someone your enemy? First of all, it's not because that person is an enemy. You think that person is your enemy, but you don't think, you're not sure about what that person is thinking for you until you meet that person, you talk to that person, or you have view of that person. Maybe that person is your friend. How can you say that that person is your enemy? It's only your assumption. You prejudice. You had, "Oh, this is my enemy because he fought with me." He fought with you. Yes, maybe somebody fights with you, but does that mean it's your enemy? Sometimes you can't control your anger. God cannot control its anger. Forget everybody. Even top class rishis, guru munis, they could not control their anger. So what am I? But you are. So I cannot name anyone my enemy. Yes, there can be friction. I have many friends who don't agree with me. I don't agree with them. But we fight not for ourselves. Unfortunately, when we dispute on Facebook with someone, that is our foolishness because we are not disputing for ourselves. We are disputing with someone for someone whom we don't know. We don't know. In personal capacity, we do know about character of that person. We just either support or disupport. That is our foolishness. I respect only that person in my country or in some other country who thinks for his country, not for any person. Because country is made up of population of citizens, not of leadership. There may be thousands of leaders in every country. Who bothers? Yes, someone has come on first seat by position of luck, by gift of God, it does not mean that that person is suitable for everybody. We have to think on higher profile. I have neither amity nor friendship with any political leader. I don't want that because I am above politics. Why don't you consider yourself above politics? Why do you want to take a profile below politics? Politics does not mean leadership. Not at all. Learn it from virus. Learn it from COVID. Learn it from SARS-2, COVID-19, which has broken your life. This secret strength did not disclose to you what it is, but it is doing its job because its strength lies in its job, in its performance, and it considers you nothing. This virus power, I should say virus power, I should respect this also. I could say Mr. Corona also or Miss Corona also if I need it. Okay, let us say power. Power can be Miss or Mrs. or anything. This power of virus does not consider us anything. It trembles us toes. It just considers nothing, even top people for. And that's only a concern of body. Oh, this would kill me. Or this would harm me. This means this power is much above your level. You have to be frank in thinking that. This power is much above than your profile. You may not be his office boy. You may not be shoe keeper. You may be nothing if you compare to this power. This field scientists who are very educated, this field doctors who are very educated, this field experts which are educated, they may say one thing today, another tomorrow. This means so far, this system has not been successfully identified and understood by intellectuals. And we call intellectuals because they use their mind to distance. They can see from distance what's happening, or you can say Divya Drishti is intellectualism, Divya Drishti, like Divya Drishti power. But we don't have that. But this my friend Corona has. I can say my friend, what's wrong with that? My friend can be my enemy, of course, but I don't consider my enemy. So far, it has not done anything which can say it's enemy. If we die, it's not because of Corona, it's our problem. We don't have proper testing anywhere in the world. We don't have proper treatment. We don't have value. If people can, now there's a friction in society itself. Family people do not accept even their family members. What sort of fragmentation is done in society? This means this your friend Corona has that much power which can destabilize your structure, society. This is much more powerful. I would not say it is enemy. I would say if there is a stronger person in your area, Dada, you can say, power, you can say, if it is your power, you should have friendship with your power if you want to live a smooth life. You should tell clearly that we are with you, you are with us, help us. Of course, it's after all some power to solve. You seek help from it. If it is powerful, it shall certainly help you. If I will fight with you, you don't have any weapon to fight with that. What shall you fight with it? Weapon is also secondary. You don't know what it is. And if you don't know something, how can you fight with it? It's same case as ghost. Ghost in your area. This is a haunted house, they say. This haunted building. If it's haunted building, how can you find that ghost? Who stays in that building? You can't find. It is same thing. It's like ghost, Mr. Ghost. Such a big ghost, either individual or having complete group of army, armed forces, soul forces, walking all over the world. So you can't do anything. Better submit to it. Submit to it. Maybe if all submit to it, it won't harm you at least, because ultimately it has not come to harm you, it has come to teach you. If it wanted to harm you, by this time there will be nobody alive on earth. For it is not big. Just 1 or 2 minutes adequate to kill you all. But it does not authorize itself. It has not been authorized, I think, so far to eliminate humanity. That's why it's trying to play with you. You may call it but saying playing with you. It's all playing with you. And this is a serious play where death is invited, where death is also a game of play. So it's not too late. Not too late. Forget your fighting with this. Be a friend with this, but take precautionary measures only. If you say it will go, yes, it will go on its own, not because of yours. Yes, if you accept it as your guest, accept as your member, accept as your good friend, then friends never harm others. But you have to consider friend. If it can take doctors from you, if it can take medics from you, what is called nurses from you, health workers from you, and many other people from you who have been in power all years. So what you are? This is my imagination. You may like it, you may not like it. That's your choice. And it doesn't mean I'm stating you stop treatment. Continue whatever you are doing, but with a view to protection, self-protection, self-sufficiency, self-standing, that we are friend with you, but we are only taking precautionary measures. Not to think that we will kill it. You can't kill it. Because somebody which you can kill cannot fight with you for so many months. It's still fighting. It's not listening. You know what it's doing actually? As if some soul comes to you and just like this and go away. And the second time it comes to you, then you like and go away. And third time it comes to you and give you and go away. And fourth time it comes to you and push you and go away. So all these 4 times you didn't lose your life. It warned you, it alerted you, but you don't understand, then it push you or push you from train or push you from roof down to ground, it just like this and kill you. And it's killed of course. If it wants to kill you, it takes 1 second. 1 second to kill everybody. Because superpower does not want to kill you. And in fact, this is either superpower or it is representative of superpower, only to either of them. This means you change your style, that's all, to eliminate humanity. Even if you inject, even if you discover vaccine, you can't protect yourself. Because that is biological vaccine, that is chemical vaccine, that is not a spiritual vaccine, but you need a spiritual vaccine to fight with this if you want to fight. But when you think that spiritually, certainly you will not think to fight, because spiritualism does not teach you fighting. It teaches you strengthening yourself, strengthening your soul, strengthening your spirit, which is power of soul. If you can do that, it's like, weight. My weight is this much, your weight, you can't balance with me. So once it says that you are stronger, it would not say anything to you. It should not say anything to you, because you are also good for this. You are very eligible, You are qualified because once you are very powerful in soul, you will not think to destroy others. Simple. Very simple. Because we have certain people in our country who have become devils in name of their seats, who have converted them to devils and not into humans, which they should actually work as superhumans, but they are working as devils. This is also evident in our country. Because they don't consider value of humanity, they consider value of threat. They consider to harass others, to embarrass others, and not to realize their problem. Such persons are also equal to devil. They may be having very high positions in politics, they may be having power of money, but if they cannot treat other souls same level as they treat themselves, they certainly can be designated as devils. This country or other country or whole world belongs to no one. It belongs to all. And if we play with our people, and particularly those who have no power, no financial power, no political power, nothing, and they are poor, they don't have much wealth with them, and if you play with them, you are a sinner. You are really a sinner. Or what I can say English word, which is a meaning, a very different meaning, which you understand and what world understands. They are incompetent people. They are not having any capacity. And in English, this means incompetent people means past tense. In English language, not our meaning, English language meaning, Queen's English language meaning. Means they are not legalized, they are illegal in acts. That's all. If they are that, that is inhuman treatment. You have no right to enslave others. You have no right to suppress others. But if you are suppressing their rights, if you are enjoying or torturing them, you are more than coward. You are more than coward. You are a bacteria that survives on carbon dioxide. You are that bacteria. You are evil in the society. You are evil in your nation. You are a sewage. You are hydrogen sulfide. All you are, that is dirt. If you cannot respect everybody, and particularly those poor who don't have money, who don't have any power, who do not know what to do, how to help themselves, if you torment those people, you won't be happy, never, never, never. And those who support them, they are superheroes for you. Those people who support them, their acts, their misdeeds, they are also devils, whoever they are. Don't forget, you did not make anything here in this world. You did not make even a drop of water. You are only using natural wealth. So these people also want to get part of that. And you don't want to give them a part of that. This means you are robbing their rights, you are stealing their rights, you are depriving them of their rights. And then I have any right to speak against you and against them. I can use any language. I don't bother about language, is what I use then. Because you are a criminal. And police uses every word against criminal. So I am your police. I can say anything in that case because I am also a part of them. I represent them without having any representation from them. On behalf of humanity, I talk for them and I kick you out mentally, spiritually, because you are not suitable for this power you are enjoying. If you can't think of this poor, you cannot think for, you only can think of riches, and which is sin you are doing on my land. It is better to speak clearly rather than suppressing facts of life. Why should I fear you? You are same as I am. No difference. I am human, you are human. I am a citizen, you are a citizen. Only when you got some post. That's not by your qualification or your expertise. Just because you cheated public and got votes. Only that. Fake promises, false promises, lying talks always. So you reach that position not because of your character, but because of your befalling people of this country. And it's everywhere in the whole world. Don't think that you're powerful. It shall take just half a second by COVID to teach you a lesson, remember. Maybe you can't reach hospital. I'm just warning those people who are abusing my poor friends, citizens. I consider them asset for this nation, and you consider them rag of this nation. They are asset for this nation because they give you wet, they give you rice, they give you house, they give you everything. You only pay some money to them. They give you everything. You can't know that. You have become a sinner, but I don't want to be a sinner. I have the right to speak in their favor and against you. That is what religion teaches. Set sinners right. What religion teaches? Remember what he said. Yada yada hi dharmasya galanirvavati bharate abe utthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham praritranaya sadhunam vinashaya sadhuskirtham dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavani yuge yuge. Do you remember this? You may be remembering. Here, tadatmanam srijamyaham tadat COVID srijamyaham tadat SARS-2 COVID-19 srijamyaham. This is same Jamyaham which Krishna said, I would be here, Ram said, I would be here. So it is same I am here. Try to understand, give its value. It will teach everybody sinner a lesson. It will set right those who are criminals, and it will reinstitute all institutions which have been deteriorated or broken by these wrong politicians. Don't misunderstand me. Maybe I am speaking on behalf of him, who knows? How can you know I'm not that? Maybe I have a representation from him. Why should I tell you? Maybe I am having every power from him. Why should I tell you? I am just warning you. Set yourself right or I'll make you tight. Do you understand that? God can speak through everybody. Remember? These people whom you are forcing to walk and die, these people are going to your death one day. They are curses. They are failings. They are internal abuses. Because more than that, they cannot do anything. You are in power and they are not in power. You give them the seat and see what they do. They will hang you. They will hang you, I'm telling you. They will hang judges also who have not done justice with them. They will hang everybody who caused sin to them. You are fortunate that you are living in Bharat. You go and live in Arab world. You will see how they deal with you. You are not even shoe of Arab countries. They are taking care of all immigrants. You are not giving them water even. What a difference. You are not considering a human being. And they are dealing with every facility. You are our guest and we take care. They are not saying Corona came because of you. You said this came because of Muslims. Corona is Muslim. Corona is Hindu. What nonsense. You are illiterate leaders. You never understand anything. acts of causing friction among society. You fallen guy, you devil relation, what can I say is less to you? You deserve more. When you are killing people, you are nothing but devil. Your people should have been there to help them. Your MPs, your MLAs, and you yourself. You say your party is having 10 crore workers. Where are they? What they are doing? Let them go and help them. Let these bucks keep on their shoulders every person and walk and carry that. But they are not doing anything. They are writing on Facebook, on Twitter, just abusing those who want to help them. You say some people are doing politics. Yes, they would do politics. What's wrong with that? They are talking of human being. They are talking for poor. You talk for poor. Who stopped you? It is your duty. It is your legal duty because you are government to help them, but you are not helping them. Those who want to help them, you are not allowed to help them. Then who is devil? You or they? Your bhakts have no mind. Stool are they? Urine are they? Such is happening in this country, so-called country of gods. Country of gods, country of Ram, country of Krishna, country of Harishchandra, country of Devis. Does this happen in country of Ram? Those claim Ram, they are doing this. How Ram will be very sad. I will talk to him. He's very upset, certainly. He's weeping. What sort of people these are? You are talking of Ram. People who talk Jai Shri Ram, they act like this. Not possible. Not possible. You do not know Ram. You are haram. You know haram, what is haram? Or you know Ram, what is Ram? I tell you what is that. You don't have that much knowledge. Haram means illegal. Harami, we call it harami. It's what means illegality. This means Ram is legal. Ram is lawful. So you are not respecting these people and you are talking of law. Law is Ram. Haram illegal, Ram is legal. This is meaning of both words. Maybe Arab people don't understand that too, but I am sure they understand this. Because you taught them. Don't forget, they also come from same home from which you came, from which Christians came, from which all humanity came, from which all animals came, from which all creatures came. You are no different. You say Vasudev Kutam, but you don't understand Vasudev Kutam. That's a problem. You consider you are only Vasudev Kutam and nobody else. That is what you are thinking, and that thinking is called devil thinking. That is devil thinking, nothing else. It's better you understand or face consequences. I'm telling you, I'm warning you, you will face consequences soon because computer of God is still working and is working very rapidly. There's no virus in that. Sorry. Maybe I'm annoying someone. I'm regretful for that because those persons who are annoyed, they do not understand facts of life. They are behind some politician only for sake of politician, or they have paid something that could be reason. And people are calling me also that I am congressman. You may call me, it doesn't make a difference to my health. I know what I am. I don't want to be designated by your panel. by your pen or by your keyboard. I do not resonated. What I am, some people say, oh, you might have taken bribe in your government service. They automatically assume that I was a government servant. See, beauty of God. They assume that I was a government servant in India and I looted a lot. That's why I'm supporting Congress. See, thinking of people, they can imagine anything despite knowing the person. If you talk in favor of Modi, you are good. If you talk against him, you are Congress. That's what I'm saying. Wisdom is very important. These people who talk like this, actually they are innocent. They are not using mind. They are just paid something and they are just talking that. They do not know any percent about that, but they say something. For example, oh, he is a government servant. He has taken a lot of bribe, and that's why he's talking for Congress. But I'm not talking for Congress at all. I'm talking for poor people. Are they communists? My question is that. So these illiterate people, I should say, really illiterate they are. They are really illiterate. Illiterate is that they don't never study. They never illiterate doesn't mean study only. Illiterate means your mind is blank, your mind is not working. Person may be illiterate, may not be illiterate, but question is your mind is working or not working. Or you are a buffalo, or you are a goat, or you are a cow, what you are. That point is very important. Well, I would simply say don't worry about corona. As much as you worry, it will make you more worry. Yes, care is a must. Now forget thinking that it transfers from human to human or person to person. It can transfer through air, it can transfer through your eyes, it can transfer through your body. And again, I am telling, use nature for your body. Use nature for your body. Again, I am saying, learn from these workers, industrial workers, these construction workers, learn from them how they live, how they grow up their small kids, what sort of life, what level of life they lead. That is very important for few people to understand. Otherwise, you can't live comfortably. Lifestyle has changed. It is good that it has changed. It should change because change is a must. But your thinking should change. Your everything should change. Your eyes towards nature should change. Your contemplation towards nature should change. You should not think only for self. You should think for others. Be active with people, talk to people when you are in public. Don't isolate yourself just because you are working on your mobile. Mobile is mobile. This can never be your friend. This can only waste your time because you are very much used to that. Treat it as a gadget, don't treat it as your master. Yes, learn from it. It's not mobile that is teaching you, it's information that is teaching you. Don't consider mobile is teaching you. Mobile is just a device. So this device can be harmful also. It's time that it's coming of telecommunication day, and there's actually people are talking about Connect 2030, which is very important one. I've gone through that, it's nice things. But you say if you're thinking of 2030, how shall world be? How shall be connected? World is already connected. But connection does not mean everything should be connected. Mind should be connected, never be connected. It can never be connected. Mind, everybody's mind is different. There are can be the opinions and oppositions with each and everybody, but mind is mind. So my just statement was, do not be so much aggressive. Let it go as it is. Take care. It won't otherwise be helpful. You can't solve this problem because you do not understand problem. Until you understand problem, you cannot solve it. You cannot analyze it. Therefore, don't worry about this. मस्ती में रहिए, थोड़ा बोल देता हूँ हिंदी में, चिंता ना करिए. जो दोस्त आया है उसको दोस्त समझिए, दुश्मन ना समझिए. जितना आप उसको दुश्मन समझेंगे, उसको गुस्सा आएगा, क्योंकि वो दुश्मन नहीं है आपका, आपने कैसे उसको दुश्मन मान लिया। प्रश्न तो ये उठता है। उसने कुछ कहा नहीं, आपका किया नहीं, अपना काम कर रहा है, उसे करने दो। वो ऐसे तो नहीं आ गया होगा, ऐसे कुछ नहीं होता इस विश्व में, इस यूनिवर्स में, ब्रह्मांड में, कहीं ना कुछ कंट्रोल तो उसका होता है। मैं भी तो इस दुनिया में आया, आप भी तो इस दुनिया में आए, ठीक है, हम एक दूसरे को जानते हैं, तो वो पावर भी जैसी वो है दूसरों को जानती होंगी। हम इस शरीर में आ गए, इसलिए शरीर से हम बात करते हैं। वो इस शरीर में ना आके आत्मा के रूप में आए तो वो आत्मा से बात करेंगे, शरीर से तो बात नहीं करेंगे। ये बात आपको समझ आनी चाहिए। ना उसको दुश्मन मानो, ना उसको दोस्त मानो, उसको मेहमान मान लीजिए कि भाई अच्छी बात है आप आ गए, हम आपकी सेवा करते हैं, भूलिए क्या सेवा चाहिए आपको। जितना आप उसको गाली देंगे, जितना आप उसको दुश्मन कहेंगे, जितना आप उसको जीतना चाहेंगे, उतना आप हारेंगे। लिख लीजिए, हम जीतेंगे, पीएम कहते हैं हम जीतेंगे, इसको हराएंगे। हर पीएम यही कर रहा है। अरे किसको हराओगे आप तो खुद हारे हुए हो। आप तो जानते भी नहीं कि आपका कौन दोस्त है कौन दुश्मन है। आप किसी को क्या हराओगे? आपको तो पता भी नहीं कौन लड़ाई कर रहा है आपसे, फिर आप किसको हराओगे? जिसको आपने देखा नहीं, जिसको आप जानते नहीं और जानेंगे भी नहीं उसको आप, क्योंकि आत्मा को किसने जाना है आज तक। कहते हैं जी 1/10,000 इंच का पार्ट है, अंदाजा से कहते हैं, क्योंकि जो कह रहा है वो साइंटिस्ट है, डॉक्टर है। मेजरमेंट तो उसने करके देखी नहीं, एक असेसमेंट दे दिया। मान लेते हैं 1/1000 हिस्सा 1 मिलीमीटर का है, या इंच, या 8 mm का है, जितना भी है। अब आप सोचिए, जो चिकनी मिट्टी होती है वो सूख जाती है, उसका जो एक पार्टिकल होता है जो धूल बन के हवा में उड़ता है, बहुत बारीक सा पार्टिकल, उससे भी 100 गुना या 10 गुना छोटा पार्टिकल है ये। तो वहां उस पार्टिकल के बारे में क्या जानते हैं? ये वैज्ञानिक कह रहे हैं, मैं नहीं कह रहा। वैज्ञानिक अगर कितना कह रहा है तो उससे भी छोटा है, आप ये समझ लीजिए। तो आप क्या बिगाड़ लेंगे उसका? आपकी नाक का फिल्टर उसको रोक नहीं सकता, आपकी आंख की भौं उसको रोक नहीं सकती, आपका एसी का फिल्टर उसको रोक नहीं सकता, आपकी हवा उसको रोक नहीं सकती। कौन रोकेगा उसको? ये बात समझ लेनी चाहिए। कारें चलाने शुरू कर दी लोगों ने, खिड़की बंद करके एसी में। अरे क्या जल्दी है भाई मरने की आपको? क्यों मरना चाहते हैं आप इतनी जल्दी है? कार के चलाने के चक्कर में आप खिड़की खोली छोड़ के चला लीजिए ना, पसीना आने दीजिए ना, थोड़ी सह लीजिए ना। नहीं, हम तो कार चलाएंगे, हम तो कार वाले हैं, लेने की शराब की बोतल जाएंगे तो बड़ी कार लेके जाएंगे कि हम बड़े आदमी हैं, हमें शराब की बोतल दीजिए। आपका स्टेटस बस एक बोतल पीने तक सीमित है, आपका स्टेटस बस एक कार चलाने तक सीमित है। अरे कार की जगह दिमाग चलाइए। सबसे बड़ी कार है जो बड़ी बड़ी कारों को हिला दे, जो बड़े बड़े हवाई जहाजों को हिला दे, कि वो कार है। आपकी कार क्या है इसके सामने? इसके अंदर पता नहीं क्या क्या छुपा है, उसको बाहर निकालिए। पर उसको नहीं निकालेंगे आप, क्योंकि उसको निकालने के लिए तकलीफ होती है, सोचना पड़ता है, नींद नहीं आती, आंख नहीं लगती, सोच आता है, विचार आता है, सपने आते हैं। फिर भी मैं जीता हूँ जीने के लिए, जीता हूँ मरने के लिए। सोच लीजिए आप ऐसा, जिंदगी आपकी नहीं है। आप सोच लीजिए आप मर चुके हैं। जब आप ये सोच लेंगे मैं मर चुका है, तो आप जिंदे हो जाएंगे दूसरे जन्म के लिए। आपकी तस्वीर बदल जाएगी, आपकी इमेज चेंज हो जाएगी, आपकी आत्मा बदल जाएगी, आपका व्यवहार बदल जाएगा, क्योंकि आप तो मर चुके हैं। मर के दोबारा जिंदे हुए हैं, आपकी सारी गंध निकल जाएगी। सोच लीजिए कि मैं मर चुका हूं, सच में मर चुका हूं, सोच लीजिए। लेकिन आसान नहीं है सोचना, आसान नहीं है, बहुत मुश्किल है। ना ये सोचना आसान है, ना मानना आसान है। कोई नहीं मानेगा, क्योंकि जब आप मंदिर मस्जिद भी जाते हैं ना, भगवान से ये नहीं कहते कि हमें थोड़ी मुसीबत दे, हमें कुछ सिखा दे। यही कहते हैं भगवान मुझे काम दिला दे, मेरे को वो काम नहीं करने दे रहा, उसको रास्ते से हटा दे, मेरे बच्चों का ये कर दे, मेरे बच्चों का वो कर दे। कभी कोई ये नहीं कहता भगवान मुझे सबुद्धि दे, मुझे मेहनत करने की शक्ति दे, कोई नहीं कहता, लेकिन कोरोना तो मेहनत करता है, वो तो कर रहा है, आप नहीं कर रहे, आप घर में छुप के बैठ गए। वो तो अपना काम करेगा, वो तो काम करने आया, किसी की शक्ति नहीं किसको रोकते। आप क्या किस खेत की मूली है? होंगे आप विश्व के राष्ट्रपति, होंगे आप प्रधानमंत्री, क्या होता है उससे? आपके अंदर शक्ति तो नहीं है, आप कोई ऋषि मुनि तो नहीं है जो राजाओं से भी बड़े होते थे। आप तो कुछ भी नहीं है। हाथ जोड़ने से भी काम नहीं चलेगा, काम तो करने से होगा। आप यूं करके खड़े हो जाइए, उससे क्या होगा? अगर कोई यूं करके खड़ा होता है तो मैं उसको हार मान लूंगी, इतनी हार मान रहा है वो, जो भगवान के सामने हार ही मानी जाती है। लेकिन जब आप काम करते हैं तो आप यूं नहीं करते हैं, आप काम करते हैं। अगर आप यूं करके बैठेंगे तो काम कभी नहीं होगा। काम तो काम है, दोनों हाथ से होगा तभी होगा, नहीं तो नहीं होगा। इसलिए यूं करना छोड़ दीजिए। जो यूं करता है मैं उसको सबसे बड़ा बदमाश समझता हूँ। भगवान के सामने करना अलग बात है, लेकिन पब्लिक के सामने जो यूं करता है उससे बड़ा हरामी कोई नहीं इस दुनिया में, याद रखिएगा। क्योंकि उसे हम कुत्ता कहते हैं, जिसको नेता, नेता कुत्ते ही होते हैं। जिन्होंने कभी कुछ नहीं किया जिंदगी में वो नेता बनते हैं, यही फर्क है। और नेताओं के हम पैर छूते हैं, सैर सैर सैर, क्योंकि हमें भी उनसे कुछ चाहिए। हम जानते हैं हो ही नहीं सकता है। हम भगवान को भी भूल जाते हैं नेता के सामने। कितनी बड़ी बेइज्जती की बात है। और तभी कोरोना आता है जब जमीन पे पाप बढ़ जाता है, तभी कोरोना आता है। और आ गया, बिना बुलाए आ गया। आप कह रहे थे, बड़े बड़े लोग कह रहे थे, क्रिश्चियन कह गया था मैं आऊंगा, कई साल पहले मुझे कैसा आ था, तो भाई तो आ गया। अब लोग क्या करेंगे? आप संभालिए ना उसको। आप तो संभाल भी नहीं पा रहे उसको, आप तो उसको नमस्कार भी नहीं कर पा रहे, इतने गिर गए। याद रख लेना, जिसको आप दुश्मन समझते हैं और उससे अगर आपकी दोस्ती हो जाए, उससे बढ़ के कुछ नहीं होता है। हिम्मत करेंगे, हिम्मत नहीं करेंगे आप। अब चलिए छोड़िए, अब काम की बात करते हैं। बहुत हो गया मजाक, बहुत हो गई उथल पुथल, बहुत कह ली बुराई मैंने दूसरों की। अब मैं तो एक ही बात जानता हूं, इस देश को शिक्षा लेनी चाहिए। एक तो मुझे इस बात पे गुस्सा आता है जो कहते हैं मजदूर, मुझे बहुत गुस्सा आता है इस पर। क्या होता है मजदूर? गुलाम है तुम्हारे? कौन है वो? जो मजदूर कहेगा मेरे सामने, आई हैव ओनली वन क्वेश्चन, जो काम वो करते आप करेंगे? अगर आप वो काम करेंगे तो करके दिखाइए। चैलेंज है मेरा, मेरा सब उन लोगों को चैलेंज है जो उनकी बुराई कर रहे, तो कोई भी हो, आप चलिए मेरे साथ किसी साइड पे, एक बोरी उठा के दिखाइए सीमेंट की, सर पे रख के दिखाइए, कंक्रीट का तसला भर के सर पे रख के दिखाइए, कंक्रीट मिक्स करके दिखाइए और काम करके दिखाइए। फिर मान लेंगे आपकी भक्ति को हम। मैं बोलता हूँ भक्त, जाइए आप साइटों पे जाइए, छोड़ के जो चले गए ना, अब काम कीजिए आप उनका। 8 घंटे धूम में खड़ा होकर काम करके दिखाइए, तब मैं मान लूंगा आपकी भक्ति को। लेकिन आप ऐसा नहीं करेंगे, क्योंकि आपको 2 रुपए का ट्वीट करना है। आप तो एसी की गुलाम है, हराम की खाने की आदत है आपको। वो मेहनत करके खाते, वो आपको बुरे लग रहे हैं आज। जिन्होंने पूरी दुनिया में काम किया है वो आपको बुरे लग रहे हैं। आपने क्या किया है? इन मिनिस्टरों ने क्या किया है? मोदी ने क्या किया है? सोनिया ने क्या किया है? क्या किया इन लोगों ने? मेहनत तो इन्होंने की है। जिस कोठी में आप रहते हैं, इन्हीं लोगों का खून पसीना लगा हुआ है। जिस सड़क पे आप चलते हैं, इन्हीं की डाली कंक्रीट है। जहां पे दुबई टावर है, वो भी इन्हीं का बनाया हुआ है। दुनिया में ऐसी कोई जगह नहीं जहां इनका हिस्सा नहीं है। लेकिन आप तो कह रहे हैं, मर रहे तो उनको धूप में। तो आप में और कुत्ते में कोई फर्क नहीं है। और देखना, इसका फल मिलेगा आपको। लिख लीजिए, चैलेंज है मेरा, नाम ये तो कहना, जो अगर आपको इसका फल ना मिले तो कहना। ऐसा फल मिलेगा कि आपकी 7 पुश्तें याद रखेंगे कि ऐसा भी हुआ। ये लोग हेरा फेरी करके नहीं खाते आपकी तरह, ये लोग बातें बना के नहीं खाते आपकी तरह, ये लोग कानून का सहारा लेके काम नहीं करते आपकी तरह, ये लोग झूठ बोल के काम नहीं करते, ये लोग बैंक के पैसे लेके भागते नहीं, ये लोग मेहनत करके खाते हैं। ठीक है, 1 घंटा रेस्ट करते होंगे बीच में, क्या हो गया? आप तो काम ही नहीं करते, ये 6 घंटे तो करते होंगे। आप क्या करते? क्या करता है प्रधानमंत्री और क्या करते हैं दूसरे लोग? कुछ नहीं करते बातों के अलावा। वो बातों की खाते हैं या काम की खाते हैं, बस इतना फर्क है। इसलिए वो जहाज में बैठते हैं, बेचारे सड़क पे नंगे पैर चलते हैं, ये फर्क है। ये आपका दिया हुआ है, उनका नहीं। अगर आप उनका इतना भी हक नहीं दे सकते तो आपसे बढ़ के कोई राक्षस नहीं, आपसे बढ़ के कोई नीच नहीं। नीच है आप जो मानव के साथ ऐसा कर रहे हैं। अरे जानवर के साथ नहीं लोग करते ऐसा। बातें तो आप गाय की करते हो, गाय से शिक्षा तो ले लो। क्या आता है आपको? कौन से धर्म की बात करते हो आप किसी धर्म को नहीं मानते, सच तो यही है। कुछ धर्म वरम नहीं जानते आप, धर्म जानते तो ये बात नहीं होती। आप पूजा करते हैं इन लोगों की, ठीक है, वो नहीं करते काम, उनकी मर्जी, आप जोशी करा लेंगे उनसे। उनको नहीं पसंद आज की तारीख में, नहीं कर रहा, आप जोशी करना चाहिए उनसे। इसलिए आप किसी धर्म को जानते ही नहीं, आप ड्रामा करते हैं धर्म के नाम पे, आप वोट बदलते क्योंकि लोगों की भावनाओं के साथ खेलते हैं। आप जो आदमी इनकी बात करता है आप उसको राष्ट्रीय द्रोही कह देंगे, आप उसमें केस कर देंगे। शर्म आनी चाहिए आपको। भगवान ने आपको एक अवसर दिया, गद्दी दी कि देश की सेवा करो, लोगों की सेवा करो, और आप लोगों की सेवा नहीं कर रहे, और जो करना चाहते हैं उनको भी नहीं करने दे रहे। तो आप जैसा जानवर तो कहीं पाया नहीं जा सकता। आप तो खूंखार से भी खूंखार जानवर हैं जो इनका खून पीने को तैयार है। अरे कमाल है, बसें लग गई हैं, आपको हटा दी बसों वहां से, कमाल है, शर्म नहीं आई आपको? ये लाओ और वो लाओ और ये लाओ और वो लाओ, क्या लाओ? थप्पड़ लाना चाहिए ऐसे आदमी के मुंह पे, ये लाओ और वो लाओ। अरे बस है, जाएंगे 2 चक्कर काट के आ जाएंगे वापस, ब्रेक खराब हो जाएगा और वो खराब। तुम्हारे यहाँ सब कुछ सही होता है ना, जैसे सारी दुनिया में सारे काम तुम्हारे यहाँ होते हैं। सड़क पे बिना फिटनेस बस चलती है क्या? जो ला रहा है बेवकूफ है क्या? वो बिना हर रोज फिटनेस चेक होती है क्या? 1 साल में 1 बार होती है क्या? हर रोज होती है? शर्म आती है आप जैसे बद दिमाग लोगों पे, गधों पे, जिनको कुछ नहीं, सिर्फ पॉलिटिक्स खेलनी है हर बात में। ठीक है, कांग्रेस से खेली होगी पॉलिटिक्स, सवाल ये नहीं है, आप भी खेल रहे हैं। अगर कांग्रेस गलत है तो आप भी गलत होंगे। आपने उनकी नहीं सोची जो प्रॉब्लम में है। आप कांग्रेस को गलत कह रहे हैं, कांग्रेस आपको गलत कह रही है। अरे मर तो कौन रहा है ये तो देखिए, मर तो मेरे देश का युवा रहा है, वो बेचारा गरीब मर रहा है। क्या मैं चल सकता हूं उनकी जगह? आप चल सकते हैं उनकी जगह? बोल रहे हैं फेसबुक पे बकवास कर रहे हैं, फालतू की बकवास करे जा रहे हैं बिना मतलब की, चल के दिखाइए, मान लूंगा आपको। हवा में बातें करना, एसी के रूम में बैठे बातें करना बड़ा आसान है। जो आदमी काम करता है धूप में, उससे पूछिए काम क्या होता है। 40 डिग्री में काम करना, 45 डिग्री में काम करना, पानी भी ठंडा ना मिलना, उसको करके दिखाइए आप। विस्की की बोतलें पीने बैठे होते हैं, और पैसे कहां से आते हैं आपके पास? इनके पास पैसे तो नहीं है। आप जैसा गंदा राजनेता है ही नहीं दुनिया में कोई। आप अपने पूजा करा लीजिए, कुछ भी करा लीजिए, पर कातिल हैं आप। आपसे बढ़ के कातिल कोई नहीं दुनिया में। राम को मानते हैं, अरे राम लात मारेगा आपको। राम को मानते हैं, बातें राम की करते हैं, और काम रावण के करते हैं, काम राक्षसों के करते हैं। ऐसे आदमी हैं। मुझे तो शर्म आती है आपको इस देश का नेता कहते हुए कि कैसे आप इस गद्दी पे आ गए। पता नहीं, आपको तो नाली का कीड़ा बनना चाहिए था, आप कैसे बन गए इस देश पे आ गए। गुस्सा इतना आ रहा है क्योंकि मैं जानता हूं इन लोगों को। मैं इंजीनियर हूं, मुझे पता है इनकी वैल्यू क्या है। और इंजीनियर समाज सो रहा है जैसे वो कुछ है ही नहीं। इनके बिना आप पानी का गिलास भी नहीं पी सकते, याद रखिएगा। प्लम्बिंग की लाइन फिक्स होगी तभी तो आप पानी पिएंगे। नहीं तो कैसे पिएंगे? आपके घर में किचन होगी तभी खाना खाएंगे ना पका के। घर होगा तो। जब हम चाहते हैं ना नया काम शुरू करना, साइट पे नई साइट लेते हैं, हमें पता है कितनी प्रॉब्लम आती है, कैसे क्या होता है। आपको क्या पता? आप तो बने बनाए मकान में आ जाते हैं, आपको क्या पता क्या प्रॉब्लम है? अरे ये लोग तो चल भी लिए, आप चल भी नहीं पाएंगे। ये लोग रो के धो के जैसे भी चले जाएंगे अपने घर, कुछ मरेंगे कुछ जिंदा रहेंगे, आप खड़े भी नहीं रह पाएंगे। चलने की बात तो छोड़ दीजिए। आप तो भैया मुझे चार उठा के लेके चलो। अपनी औकात में रहते तो अच्छा था, मुझे ये बोलने की आवश्यकता नहीं थी। लेकिन मैं बहुत परेशान हूं इन लोगों की वजह से। इसलिए नहीं, इसलिए कि मेरे देश के नेता इतने गिरे हुए हैं, इतने गिरे हुए हैं कि जहां से हम उनको उठा भी नहीं सकते। ऐसे हैं मेरे देश के नेता। अफसोस होता है, अफसोस होता है उन युवाओं पे जो उन नेताओं को अपना आइडल बना के बैठे हैं। उन भक्तों पे अफसोस होता है कि उन्होंने किन को चुना है, किन की प्रार्थना करते हैं वो। उन भक्तों पे अफसोस होता है मुझे कि उनको से बुद्धि मिलनी चाहिए कि अपने रास्ते भटके से वापस आ जाए। इन लोगों के लिए जो राक्षस से भी बढ़ते हैं, इन लोगों के लिए आप सोचते हैं, जिनमें ना इंसानियत है ना मानवता है ना कुछ, इन लोगों के लिए सोचते हैं आप। इनका तो इतने जूते मारने चाहिए कि जूतों की कील निकल जाए, इतने जूते मारने चाहिए। इनकी औकात वही, भगवान से ऊपर समझते हैं अपने आप, भगवान से ऊपर है। मेरे गुस्सा करने से कुछ होना तो है नहीं, दिमाग जरूर खराब होता है, लेकिन मैं कभी इतना गुस्सा नहीं करता। लेकिन अब मेरे को बहुत गुस्सा आ रहा है क्योंकि मानवता को मारा जा रहा है। मानवता को जानवर भी मार देता कोई बात नहीं, उन लोगों को मारा जा रहा है जिनमें शक्ति नहीं, जो अपने बोल नहीं सकते, अपने आप कुछ कर। मार के दिखाओ ना पैसे वालों को, मार के दिखाओ पावरफुल लोगों को, मार के दिखाओ बिरला टाटा को, मार के दिखाओ अंबानी अडानी को, तो मैं जानूंगा कि आप कुछ हैं। उनके तो पैर छुएंगे आप, उनके तो बैंक के पैसे माफ कर देंगे आप। उन बेचारों को पानी भी नहीं पूछ रहे आप, क्योंकि ये कुछ कह नहीं सकते, कुछ बोल नहीं सकते। आप बर्बाद होंगे, लिख लो, मेरी बद्दुआ है आपकी, बर्बाद होंगे, और नहीं तो मेरी आत्मा आपको बर्बाद कर देगी। याद रखिए, कहीं ना कहीं आत्मा किसी से मिलती ही है, वो छोड़ेगी नहीं आपको। जब मेरी प्रेशर लगा दिया मैंने तो, लेकिन मैं भी चांस दे रहा हूं आपको, होश में आ जाओ, इंसान बन जाओ। नहीं तो कोरोना समझ लो है ही वहां पे, और वो इसी काम के लिए आया है, इसी काम के लिए वो आया है। खैर, बहुत हुआ, गुस्सा तो आ ही जाता है, और क्या करेंगे गुस्सा नहीं आएगा तो। जब सारे जानवर इकट्ठे हो जाते हैं तो भौं भौं ही करते हैं, वही हो रहा है। शर्म लिहाज कोई रह नहीं गई दुनिया में। अब talking about management, saying I don't want to talk further on that issue because unnecessarily I don't want to give my blood pressure. मेरे को ब्लड प्रेशर का प्रॉब्लम मुझे होगी, किसी में गुस्सा आना था, आ गया, क्या करेगा, कोई अवॉइड नहीं कर सकता। क्योंकि बड़ा मरता तो मुझे गुस्सा नहीं आता, छोटों को मारा जा रहा है, उससे आ रहा है। वो लोग जो 2-400 कमाने वाले लोग हैं उनको मारा जा रहा है। शर्म, देश की जनता को शर्म आनी चाहिए, पर नहीं है, किसी को शर्म नहीं है, सब कपड़े उतार के बैठे हैं। मैनेजमेंट is control, actually control of work. Management control from every aspect: quantity, quality, quality, planning, controls, resources, everything. And contract, which is a carrier for these controls. Contract contract means two parties move together based on certain assumptions, based on certain conditions. That is contract. When you move together to achieve some destiny in exchange of some consideration, that is contract. आप आगे चलना चाहते हैं दो लोग, कुछ काम के लिए एक साथ मिलके कि मैं ये करूँगा, आप ये करेंगे, अगर आप ये करेंगे तो मैं आपको ये दूंगा, और अगर आप ये करेंगे तो मैं आपको ये दूंगा, करके जो एग्रीमेंट चलता है उसी को हम करार कहते हैं, एग्रीमेंट। और एग्रीमेंट का मतलब बंधन है, खाली बातों से नहीं लिख के होता है। बंधन आप बातों से भी कर रहे हैं, तो बातों से भाई मैं आपको इतना पैसा दूंगा, ये मेरा सामान यहाँ से उठा के रख दीजिए। हम कोई ऑर्डर करते हैं, कुली जैसे है, मान लीजिए ये सामान मेरा प्लेटफॉर्म तक पहुंचा दो, वो कहता है मैं इतने पैसे दूंगा, ठीक है हम इतने पैसे देंगे। वो भी एक तरह का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ही होता है, छोटा सा सही, बिना लिखित में सही, लेकिन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ही है। एग्रीमेंट है दो आदमियों का, चाहे वर्बल सही, वो बड़े लेवल पे लिख के होता है। इतना सा बात समझ लीजिए आप। बार बार मैं कहता हूँ, आपने कहीं जर्नी करनी है, फ्लाइट का टिकट लिया, ठीक है टिकट ले लिया आपने, टिकट ही आपका कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है। उसमें लिखा होता है जिसकी कंडीशंस है, हम यहाँ से आपको वहाँ पहुँचाएंगे, इतना पैसा आपने दिया हमको, और ये कंडीशंस है उसकी, और ये तब तक चलेगा जब तक आप वहाँ उतर नहीं जाते सेफली, और ये उनकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आपको सेफली उतारना। और जैसे ही आप फ्लाइट से बाहर, वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट खत्म, उसके बाद उनकी जिम्मेदारी खत्म हो जाती है। और जब आपको सीट पे बिठा लिया उन्होंने, या सीट पे बिठाने से पहले आपको एंट्री भी करनी है, बोर्डिंग पास भी देना है, सब कुछ करना है, वो भी आपका कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का हिस्सा है। जैसे ही आपने एंट्री ली, उनको अपने डॉक्यूमेंट्स दिए, आपका कॉन्ट्रैक्ट इम्प्लीमेंटेशन होना शुरू हो गया। और जब तक आपकी फ्लाइट खत्म होती है, आप बाहर आते हैं, वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट भी खत्म हो जाता है। इसी को कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कहते हैं, चाहे वो रेल का टिकट हो, फ्लाइट का टिकट हो, कोई और चीज़ हो, जहाँ आपने एग्रीमेंट किया हम ऐसा करेंगे, हम दोनों मिलके, वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है। इतनी सी बात आप समझ लीजिए, सब समझ आ जाएगा। अब बातें आगे चलती हैं, उसमें क्या क्या होता है, कैसे होता है, वो मेन चीज़ समझने की डिटेल्स है। बेसिक जो परिभाषा है, डेफिनेशन है, वो यही। Definition of contract. Contract itself meaning contract. Track means what? Track means पटरी। Co-track, contract, हम दोनों एक साथ एक पटरी पे चल रहे हैं, एक पहिया मैं इधर हूँ, एक पहिया इधर है, दोनों साथ साथ चलेंगे और अपने दूसरे स्टेशन पे पहुंच जाएंगे, ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है। इसी के बाद हम विल टॉक अबाउट दिस इन डिटेल्स, and that is from FIDIC, which we are talking about. FIDIC, which is a contract design body. Contract stands as a body of work that actually professionalize contract, professionalize in the way that these professional contracts, which are very expensive. We are not talking of railway ticket or that one now. We are talking of some projects which cost billions and trillions, and they are completed in few years, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 like that. And that is real contract, means which involves employing thousands and thousands of professionals and industrial workers, and that results in production of some items, petroleum product or some other product, engineering products, and these further result in some other machines production, machines manufacturing, or some forever structures where money is involved, where quality is involved, where safety is involved, where planning is involved, and where end product, end user is common man who buys it or who uses it, consumer you can say. So we actually I wanted to go through that professional document, that professional booklet you can say, of contract. That's not means it's not customized, it's just a common guideline for everyone to understand. It's not professionals only, everybody can read it, can understand it. And that document is called FIDIC, which I have talked to you. It's under talk itself. It's in motion of talking and explaining this document FIDIC, which you know. And I'll just show you cover piece. If you might not have seen before, you can realize what I'm talking about. This document is very useful, not only useful, also mandatory in some cases. You have to use that. You cannot go without its use, and that is somewhere mandatory for some people and may not be mandatory for everybody. It's for professionals who deal with that. It's mandatory for them to वो दिस अंडरस्टैंड दिस, जो लोग व्यवसाय में हैं, इंजीनियरिंग में हैं, कॉमर्स में हैं, बिजनेस में हैं, उनको ये जानना बहुत जरूरी है। बस ये एक डॉक्यूमेंट है, कवर पेज है ये, कंडीशंस ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, ये फिडिक का है। और ये आपका साथ में इसका ये थोड़ा ब्लॉक, ये भी आपको मैं दिखा देता हूँ मैं, इसका जो ब्लॉक है, you should understand that also. International Federation of Consulting Engineers, और जो इसमें कुछ और ग्राफिक्स, जो मैं कई बार, many times I explained to you, again I explain to you what the graphics is. The graphics, मेरे को इसका say something, I say this graphics, essence of graphics, sequence of times, the other one, some is for payment and some is for sequence, some is for activity, different, some for disputes. Is for payment, sequence is for payment, and then also another one, this is for different activities, different, we have to just understand all these scenarios of disputes. So let's now continue on this, as I last time left it at somewhere. I'll see where we left and how we continue from there. It's also very right that if I go to the Punwal Smith Chaudhary Raju, thank you very much. So I go to that one, and this is contract, and so you first page, then you go to further. In these documents are contained general conditions and guidance for preparation of particular conditions and annexes, forms of securities, forms of letter of tender, letter of acceptance, contract agreement, and dispute adjudication or avoidance agreement. This is here, and then we go further on to that. Copywriters I'm not concerned with. There's a content small one that's given, clauses 1 to 21, and then there's appendix with general conditions of dispute avoidance, and then there's agreement, of course, and then annex, which is of course the DAP procedural rules, and then index. These are contents in this, and particularly this is its introduction guide notes, then particular conditions part A, contract data and particular conditions part B, special provisions, and notes on preparations of tender documents, then notes on preparation of special provisions and clauses, and advisory notes to users of FIDIC contract where project is to include building information, modeling system, annexes form of securities and form of letter of tender, letter of acceptance, contract agreement, and dispute adjudication evaluation agreement. So we will go to now clause which I was reading last time, and that was, I think, which clause was that? Let me read there first of all. Let me go there. It was, so I'm not going to graphics again. I'll go to clause directly, and that is, I think it is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it is now 14 is too far. Should work there fine. 13, 6 months not that. Where is it? Why so fast it is? Let's say that. So this is counter equipment is over. 418, 415, temporary utilities, progress charts, security on sites, contact operations on site, archaeological and geological findings, subcontracting. Then it is staff and labor has gone, and yeah, here on contact superintendence is gone, and then this is key personnel we studied, and plant matters workmanship we studied. After that, I think it's time of completion, etc. It was there, which I'm sure. Commencement delays and suspension, that was our clause in which we studied, is clause 8.1, commencement delays and suspension, where we tried to understand what is commencement of works. And then there was 8.2, that's time of construction, time of completion, and the 8.3, this was program, and there was then 8.4, which is advance warning, and 8.5, that's extension of time for completion. Then there is 8.6, delayed cost by authorities, and 8.7, rate of progress, and this is 8.8, delay damages, and 8.9, employer suspension, and 8.10 is employer suspension's consequences. 8.11 is payment for plant and materials after employee suspension. 8.12 is prolonged suspension. 8.13 is resumption of work and tests on completion. So we will be here in this same 8 clause here, and we will talk about this because I think yesterday I was here. So commencement delays and suspension. I'll read it only, not explain because I already done it. So it's commencement of works. Engineer shall give notice to contractor. Engineer said notice to contractor. Let's see, if it's again done, why should not be time and say. Actually, it is means. Let us see. I remember or not. Why I speak it, no problem. I don't exactly know. Engineer shall give notice to contractor stating commencement date not less than 14 days before commencement date, unless otherwise stated in particular conditions. Commencement date shall be within 42 days after contractor receives letter of. As we did this, we understood this. So no need of explaining this. Time for completion also we understood. Program we program as well, and I don't want to repeat that. Will take nothing time only. And then advance warning. So let us say whether this study, let us say advance warning. Each party shall advise other, and an engineer and see an engineer shall advise parties in advance of any known or probable future event or circumstance which may. So this I think we did not study. I studied otherwise. I think this we did not study, and this I studied. Let me see. Prepare this program. Let me see program first of all. We just go through program text and go further. It's better to understand. It's not 8.3 program in FIDIC says contractor shall submit an initial program for execution of works to engineer within 28 days after receiving notice under subclause 8.1 commencement of works. This program shall be prepared using program software stated in specifications, and if not stated, programming software acceptable to engineers. There are some softwares like Primavera or Revis Project or maybe some updated one, which are generally used for purpose of programming or scheming or bar chart and histograms and for monitoring them day to day like that. This is used that one. So this will be either of those, or particularly Primavera is useful somewhere, MS Project is useful, or sometimes even we use the Excel sheet directly, not involving our programs if it is a very small project or that. very complicated group of projects, then you can say you have to actually analyze everything. So that's fine. So if you say then funders shall also submit a revised program which accurately reflects actual progress of works. Wherever, whenever any program ceases to reflect actual progress or is otherwise inconsistent with contractors' obligations, well, what we used to do, we always prepare this scheme, this program curve, or we say bar chart also you can use for that purpose. You have drawn bar chart, that's also a program, and this program is it gives you activities for everything, bar chart. When you say bar chart, it simply said bar chart, but it's you can say reflection of critical path method and PERT. Either use critical path method is called CPM, or you use PERT, program evaluation review technique. Both are interrelated. One is activity based and one is event based. Both are there. You can choose yourself, but it requires some knowledge, some technical input. Therefore, generally people use bar chart, Gantt chart we can call it. This chart is used and understood by everybody easily. Even formal level person can understand this, or work mystery level can also understand this. So better thing is better solutions that everybody can understand. We can understand PERT, we can understand CPM, but that is something which everybody cannot understand. So conventionally, generally, we use bar chart, and then progress is reflected on a curve that's called S curve. So both are in combination use along with histograms. Histograms means it says the workforce you have used and equipment force you have used. All these resources, in fact, and financial arrangements, these are all shown on histograms. Either time of bidding is this shall be our histogram, or if you say record, this has been our monthly histogram, or so far this has been histogram. This depicts the use of manpower, how many hours have been used, and how many hours of machines or equipment have been used. Both are depicted on that. And that bar chart, which one shows original bar chart, is a schemed or programmed one, which projected this is our achievement, while progress is a parallel one on each bar, which indicates that in different colors that this is work done. So one is shown as work planned, and same row one is shown as work achieved or done, or work earned, whatever you call it. And then both are compared, and some indication is given on bar chart that this activity is behind, or this activity is same moving according to requirement, or it's moving ahead. And this is particularly shown when you convert to S curve. Your one x-axis, or you can say, or your abscissa. Abscissa is time from the start of project, commencement of project, until till project expected to complete, and that's called abscissa or x-axis. And perpendicular to that, that's y-axis or odd axis or ordinate, you can say. On that ordinate, we show time. With fixed time, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, whatever, monthly or weekly as you wish. And every month you mark on that curve. There's already one curve which shows that this is programmed one, or this is a scheduled one. That curve is called S curve. And every month, or whatever is the frequency of planning or in monitoring, you depict another curve or same curve. If your plan and your achievement are equal on same line, or if there's some difference, you just put that on that line. It may be down curve or it may be up curve. Maybe there's ordinary curve, S curve, which is for this is for purpose of planning, and you will plot actual. I is down, lower than that curve, or above that curve, or on that curve. It depends upon whether your achievement, your progress is in line to your plan. If it's lagging behind, then it should come below that curve, or if it's lagging above or ahead, it should come above the head. So there are two curves. One S curve is for fixed time and fixed progress. This is your planned one. Other one's a reflection of progress, that's actual one. So you can find difference, which is higher or advanced and which is lower, that's lagging behind. So that's a way of monitoring. It doesn't do anything else except percentages, and based on those percentages, activity wise, you can say that which is behind. Well, it depends upon how you monitor. Sometimes we don't meet this curve and we can do without that. if you calculate the cost term, as we take cost term, we convert all program into cost factor, not in percentage factor. This is this cost, this is this cost, and according to that, we say by this time we'll cover this cost. So this is converted into costs can be targeted. So much cost has been done, so much cost was required to be done. There's a different this much cost that we also can be done. And generally, these planners and quantify people, valuation people, they use cost terms. Well, it doesn't make a difference. Use cost term or you use quantity term. Both way you will find differences. But ultimately, our mission is, our objective is to get completion of job without any EOT, without any extension of time. So that was what I'm saying about scarcity limiting program, which this document itself says. That was purpose of corroborating this information. Now we go further and study that. It says that program shall be prepared using program override software where talk to quantity shall also submit a revised program which accurately reflects actual progress of works whenever program ceases to reflect actual progress or is otherwise inconsistent with contractor's obligation. Now, initial program and each revised program shall be submitted to engineer in one paper copy, one electronic copy, and additional paper copy of any as stated in contract data, and since include a commencement of date and time for completion of works and of each section, if any, and their right of access to and position of each part of site is to be given to contractor in accordance with time or times stated in contract data. If not so stated, this contractor requires employer to give the right of access to and possession of each part of site. The order in which contractor intends to carry out works, there can be any order. In which order contractor intends to carry out works, including anticipated, including let's say says preparation and submission of contractors' documents, procurement, manufacture, inspection, delivery to site, construction, erection, installation, work to be undertaken by any nominated subcontractor as defined in subclause 5.2, subcontractors and testing. Once again, I say this long one, that order in which contractor intends to carry out works, or you can say sequence of works, including anticipated timings of each stage of design, if any, preparation and submission of contractors' documents, procurement, manufacture, inspection, delivery to site, construction, erection, installation, works to be undertaken by any nominated subcontractor as defined in subclause 5.2, nominated subcontractors and testing. Then these review periods for submissions stated in specification are required under these conditions. After that, sequence. Why I'm telling this sequence? Because this sequence means what it says in title, that initial program and each program shall be submitted to engineer in one paper copy, one accurate copy, and additional paper. That one is same, and what it says that additional paper copies as stated in customs contact detail and shall include these are copies which shall be required to submit while you are submitting your program. So it says then in It says then in order in order to which contractor intends to carry out works, including anticipated timing of each stage of design, if any, preparation and submission of contractor's documents, procurement, manufacture, inspection, deliver to site, construction, erection, manufacture, inspection, delivery to site, construction, erection, installation, work to be undertaken by an nominated subcontractor as defined in sub clause 5.2, nominated subcontractors and testing. Review periods. Review periods for any submission that in specification are required under these conditions. Sequence and timings of inspections and tests specified in or required by contract. For a revised program, sequence and timing of remedial work, if any, to which engineer has given a notice of no objection under subclause 7.5, defects and rejection and/or remedies. Remedial works, if any, instructed under subclause 7.6, remedial works. All activities to level of detail. All activities to level of details stated in specification, logically linked and showing earliest and latest start and finish dates for each activity, float if any, and critical paths. Dates of all locally recognized dates of all locally recognized days of rest and holiday periods, if any. Then all key delivery dates of plant and materials. For a revised program and for each activity, actual progress to date and delay to such progress and effect effects of such delay on other activities, if any. Then a supporting report which includes, now we are supporting that report, original report, that we are providing what support? A discussion, description, a vivaran, a description of all major stages of execution of works. That is, you can say support document. We have to tell these are all activities we have to do in this. Means stages of work execution, whatever stages we have there. A general description of methods. You have to provide method statements, general description of methods. It can be executive method or it can be technical method, which contractor intends to adopt in execution of works. Then details showing contractor's reasonable estimate. Details showing contractor's reasonable estimate of number of each class of contractors personnel and of each type of contractors equipment required on required on site for each major stage of execution of works. If a revised program, identification of any significant channels, changes and so we can say next if we go, we need then After that is going general description of methods. Okay, then details showing contractors reasonable estimate of number of each classes of contractors personnel and discuss the resources and each type of contracts equipment required on each site on site for such a major stage of execution of works, and if a revised program identification of any significant changes to previous program submitted by contractor and is contractor's proposal to overcome effects of any delays on progress of work. Actually, this list is very long. What actually it gives is, in fact, you're talking of submission program, and this program must be supported by. It should be first of all in envelope, which is a big one, and then this envelope must contain all details as required here regarding work, and which can be said that these details are, first one is original itself. Now, what you have to enclose with that we have already known, and let us say what is once again means you have to submit commission date, commencement date, completion date, and what's of each section. Then you have to say date, right of access, date and right of access, and date of delay. Then you can say after that right of access, it means you have to mention this in each part, and all contractors must have same right of access and same. Then you have to support after that what I say completion time, how access date, what's access date to possess that site, and what's time of completion, and what other data you can do in that regard. What is your resources, human resource, machine resource, and what are the capabilities, means stage of design, what you anticipated that, and contractors documentation, procurement, manufacture, all information, inspection, delivery to site, status of materials, and something else or more stuff coming in, and also that you are capable of asking them that they should have given in first instance without even asking. Okay, you're asking them they should give now. Then UV is this UV strength, UV stress or water feed. So these all you have to submit, and whatever you have in addition to that, you have to submit as a part of supporting your program, so that you justify my program is right. I know what time we have and what supports I know supports of workers, supports of machines, and support of material vendors, support of materials, all that, and we have these workers dedicated to the site, or they work for two both. That's the decision they have to get from this. It's very important. Whatever is left in connection to that submittal, because without resources and without without requirement, and without how many teachers are there, and what you expect in time to buy both time is okay or not okay. If you assess that. So all equipment you have given, all details you have given, and then you have justified means this is my claim, you support this. Then we go to next one is engineer shall review initial program and each revised program. Actually, this is a progress program. You can say revised program, you may say that revised program, but are submitted by contractor and may give a notice to contractor starting stating extent to which it does not comply with con- contract or ceases ceases to reflect actual progress or is otherwise inconsistent with contractor's obligation if engineer gives no such notice. Now, if engineer does not return any notice on your submission, which is said this is my proposal of work done and expecting instruction next year. Now, we jump on to what engineer says when you submit something. If within 21 days, though it says 21 days, we practically don't wait for. Now you go to engineer and talk to him in person. It's 21. Who can wait? This is all idealistic is given. When we are work actually, you just sit there and ask them and we discuss together and we work for 21 days. You can tell we don't have time and we have to fight this and fight that. You know, okay, now 21 days and 40 days, this is theoretical. It's given here that if engineer doesn't reply within, say, 21 days after receiving initial programming or in 14 days, yes, yes, this was for just means programming. It doesn't mean we have to stick to this. It depends upon priority of completion or the status of that project. Priority for something, and sometimes we go together, sit with our planning engineer, with their planning engineer. We find out, okay, these are comments, you know them. And even if it's not approved finally, it doesn't stop your work. That's important. Don't worry about that. Then we say that engineer shall be deemed to have given a notice of no objection if he doesn't respond within that period. That's a simple now. Contract shall proceed in accordance with program. You have to proceed according to program, subject to contractual offer, other obligations under contract. Contractor shall proceed in accordance with program, subject to contractor's other obligations under contract. Employers, personal employees, staff shall be entitled to rely on progress under planning that activity. Now, nothing in any program, nothing in any program or any support report shall shall be taken as. Then we can say nothing in any program or any supporting report shall be taken as or relieve contractor of any obligation to give a notice under contract. And if at any term, no, NGSQ say notice to contractor that program fails, so you can say to extend to comply with contract or ceases to reflect actual progress or is otherwise inconsistent with contractors and the contractor's obligations. So Vaishnav say if at any time engineer gives a notice to a contractor that program fails to extend stated comply with contract or ceases to reflect actual progress or is otherwise or is otherwise inconsistent with contractor's obligations to contractor shall within 14 days after receiving notice submit a revised program to engineer in accordance with this circumstance. All right, then we come forward. Let's go to we'll say for the program now means you simply it is even if you are not able to conduct your program in time, and it's very special case I'm telling you, it's not conditional only, it's mandatory. Even if engineer approves something, even if owner approves something, it does not mean anything to be verified. Their approval is token approval, not responsive or accountable approval. Yes, they are convinced they know what you are doing. That's all. But what they are doing, is not known. Okay. When you do something, anything, forget program, anything, even if it's right or it's wrong, both, it's approved or not approved, both. Consultant sign, yes, sign, not sign, no, ever sign, no sign, it doesn't matter anything. And principle, it is your responsibility. If something is wrong, you are wrong. If something is right, you are wrong. Positive or negative, in both cases, you are liable. Don't worry too much, but stick to quality and system. Stick to system, follow system, you'll be all right. So I go to next one, that is advance, advance warning, advance warning. Warning means चेतावनी, अग्रिम चेतावनी. हिंदी में यही कहेंगे, अग्रिम चेतावनी. चलिए मान लेते हैं. Each party shall advise other party and engineer. All right. Each party, each party, and each party. One is employer and one is contractor. Engineer is not party. Again, I am reminding you, engineer is not a party on this contract. Engineer and architect are independent parties. So, who is heater? Heater is Ravi, and Ravi has gone. Let us see. Advance warning. Each party shall advise other party and engineer shall advise parties in advance of any known or probable future events or circumstances which may be what? Let us see. What is that advance? A. Adversely affect work of contractor's personnel. Adversely affect work of contractor's personnel. आप ठेकेदार के कर्मियों के काम पर फर्क पड़ेगा उस बात से. B. Adversely affect performance of works when completed. C. Increase contract price or delay execution of works of section of Act. ये चारों बड़ी गंभीर बातें हैं. Listen to them. What is alert here? This is an alert that say which is going to affect adversely your work or your personal's performance. So that is a point of alert, and you have to check that alert. Then adversely affect performance of works when completed. If you complete works, means performance on work will be completed by that information that's alert, and then increase contract price or you are affected. If you increase contract price, you have to, sometimes items are there, can be added, it depends upon. So there could be something on that, that even price may be affected. So you have to depend on that, you have to accept that or not to that. And that only official, only only point that you have to remember, that don't be worried about that, but investigate that and find an answer. These such this would happen. Will errors managers take precaution, write their letters in a common form. Now let's go further. What it says: engineer may request contractor. Engineer may request contractor to submit a proposed lender says may request to submit a proposal under sub clause 13.2, and that is to avoid or or, or minimize uh, let us say again, engineer may request contractor to submit a proposal under subclause 13.232 variation by request for proposal to avoid minimize effect of such event or circumstances. It's question of is, you can say, you can absorb something specific for contractor uniquely or secretly. That could be an alert. Engineer may request contractor to submit a proposal under subclause 13.32. Uh, Now we go to extension of time for completion. It's very powerful clause for contractor. Extension of time, जो completion time है उसको extend करना, आगे बढ़ाना बहुत मुश्किल होता है, लेकिन पढ़ना पड़ता है, समझना भी पड़ता है. You have to understand here, read on that to do that. What is that? Now, EOTD, call it extension of time. Contractor shall be entitled. Contractor shall be entitled subject to subclause. I'm feeling thirsty. Trying to get the date. It was at 3 o'clock, not 8. Contractor shall be entitled subject to subclause 20.2 claims for payment and EOT. Claims for payment and EOT means extension of time. If and to extent that completion for purposes of subclause 10.1 taking over rest, taking over overlay. You understand what I'm saying? I'm saying contractors shall be entitled subject to subclause 20.2 for payment and EOT or EOT extension of time if and to that extent that completion for for purpose of Well, contractors shall be entitled to subclass 20.2 for payment and EOT or extension of time if and to that extent that completion for purpose of this 10-month taking over works and is sectional and sections is or will be delayed by any of following causes. What are those causes? Let us say what causes are. These very important points because there will be many more causes, but let us see what are defined here. At least we know what FIDIC says and what actually there are. A variation except, when I say variation, a variation except that there shall be no requirement to comply with subclass 22 claims for payment and or EOP. This regarding variation which is not automatically granted. And then can say a variation is there and cause of delay giving an entitlement to EOT under subclass of these conditions. After that, cause of delay giving entitlement to EOT under a subclass of three these conditions and exceptionally adverse climatic conditions, exceptionally, not common, exceptionally adverse climatic conditions, which for purpose of these conditions shall mean adverse conditions, climatic conditions at site which are unforeseeable, having having regard to climate data made available by employer. So adverse climatic conditions also. Adverse climatic conditions and that condition is I did not completely read it full. I read full now. Exceptionally adverse climatic conditions, which for purpose of these conditions shall mean adverse climatic conditions at site which are unforeseeable, having regard to climate data made available by employer under under undue subclause to file site data and so let's say furthermore of this is very difficult here climate conditions. I'm not clear till now because unforeseeable having regard to climatic data made available by employer under subclass 25 site data and data and truck or then you see if data is made available by employer under subclause 25 site data and items of reference and climatic data published in country of the general areas and they are come on now and climatic data published in country for geographical location of site बड़ा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड देखिए क्या कहता है You have to submit data outside for last many decades. And if you have that data, we can say that, see, in last 50 years, there was no such rain, there's no some traffic or something, or there's no stoppage of work, and I faced this for which I lost. So you have to compensate me, or means that who will listen, who will execute events. You have to see at least 50 years data of past and see this rain today, this flood today, this storm today never ever happened in that decades. So this is special. This might have happened for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, or it flooded area which never happened. So you didn't know about that past is gone. This period this must be treated justified with extension of time if it's not normal shutdown. Yes, they want compensation for something else. They will compensate for eating that. Then we go to next one because this climatic law is very complex and you never write like this to whenever that will contract because sometimes people laugh on that. It's not question of laugh that we are troubled, but the question is we cannot justify our statement. An unforeseeable shortage in availability of personal or goods or employer supplied materials, if any, caused by epidemic or governmental actions. Now let's go further over shortage of availability of personal goods or employer supplied materials, if any, caused by epidemic or generally. Now, employer say supplies some material according to conditions of contract. If employer is not able to supply that material due to whatever constraints of epidemic or something else, then it's a responsibility of employer, not of contractor. So this could be also an enforceable shortage of availability of personal or goods. If material is not supplied, even personal cannot do anything. In that case, he says any delay in impediment, you can say any delay or impediment or prevention caused by atmospheric. After that, let's do any delay, that is impediment or prevention caused by attribute to employers personal or employers other contractors on site. There may be other contracts on every site. Site is big one, say very big complex, and you are working as well. There are other people are working contract. And there will be some interconnection between two bodies that could have some pipeline. You also passing through your area, your foundations, where else. There is interconnection between to service of those areas. And suppose you are affected by that, that person has not done it, or that person delaying it, or you have to pass that person something like that, where you must have planned in advance. And your master plan should be with that person. It depends what happens, and that person is died. Then based on which that information coordination look like when you started after 2 days and that in this coordination meeting this gentleman council meeting gentlemen should be there to ensure that we are right. Now, all these conditions are employer's conditions, employer is responsible because it doesn't give material, it doesn't commit what he said, and there's a can say doesn't approve something, or there's a problem of I mean say there's a items are there, variation is there, then extensive time not granted, the conditions as which these conditions are not without control. So it's not this is God in process. Bhagwan say even if you are Bhagwan, you're helping them. I'm not Bhagwan, I'm not helping them. It is. Okay, now we go to the next one. That is now what is the note we have to read? That's an important long note, and that is contractors shall be entitled to. It's now entitled and due to foregoing errors and foregoing non-provisions that was required. This is contractors shall be entitled subject to. Contractors shall be entitled subject to subclass 20.2 claims for payment. Number one, claims for payment. Then void, void destruction. This is what I say. Contract shall be entitled subject to subclause 20.2 claims for payment and EO2 extension of time if measured value measured you can say quantity measured means quantity of item of work in accordance with clause 12 measurement and valuation is greater than estimated quantity of this item in bill of quantity or other schedule by more than 10%, and such increase in quantities causes a delay in completion for purpose of subclass 10(1) taking over works and sections, agreement or deterioration of any such claim under subclass 22(5). Agreement or determination of claim may include a review by engineer of measured quantities of oath of other other item of works are any time less than by 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 more than 10%, then cor- corresponding estimated quantities in bill of quantities more than 10%, then a corresponding estimated quantities you can say in bill of quantities or other schedule to extent that these are such lesser or less than equal. Okay, let us say it's very complicated. In fact, we have to make it easy. Thinking on that, Bill of quantities or other schedule, bill of quantities on the schedule to extend that there are such lesser measured quantities engineer may take account of any favorable effect on critical path of program. However, net effect of all such considerations shall not result in net reduction of time of completion. Means time can be adjusted from other items if there is. That's point what it says. Because it's not easy to decide anything. Let me read this paragraph again because it will be confusing. And you must be clear about this. Contractors shall be entitled, subject to 20.2, this clause, that is claims for payment and extension of time. It is measured quantities of any work of item. Okay, let's say contractors shall be entitled subject to subclause 22 if measured quantities any item of work in accordance with clause 12 is greater than estimated quantity of item in bill of quantities. This is a problem. Bill of quantities gives one item, but real item is, you know, quantity of this item, the quantity or others, you know, greater than estimated quantity means you are saving money in bill of quantities. That is what I want to say. And you are saying that you'll get benefit of that. It's just to trying to avoid extension as well as extras. Because there are so many loopholes in lump sum contracts. There are so many around it. All right, it's killing us, I can say. They are going to kill contractor, and such increase in quantities causes a delay to completion for purpose of subclause. Taking over works in sectors, sections, agreement or determination of any such claim under this section may include a review by engineer to measure quantities of other agents or yes, it's difficult really. Sometimes they go on writing without even analyzing what they're writing, and it becomes problem for all to interpret what they want to say. Agreement or determination of any such claim under subclause 20.5. Agreement or determination of such claim may include a review by engineer of major quantities of other items of work which are significantly by less by because you need analysis for that you need this information, you need evaluation data on that. So if you know this, that is Plan is there, you can then section of that plan, details of that plan for that department. Then you see what was given in that, what's given in this, and if there's a problem, how to solve the problem. All right, let's go further. When determining each EOT under subsection subclause, claim for payment EOT engineer shall review previous determinations under subclause agreement of determination and may increase but not decrease total EOT. Not decrease total EOT. Remember, what does it mean? Extension of time cannot be decreased. When determining each EOT under under this subclause 22, engineer shall review previous determinations under subclause 3137 agreement or determination and may increase but shall not decrease EOT extension of time. If a delay if a delay are caused by matter which is in engineer's responsibility or employer's responsibility is concurrent with a delay caused by matter which is in contractor's responsibility, contractor's entitlement to it shall be assessed in accordance with rules and procedures stated in specific provisions of, if not stated as appropriation, taking due regard of all relevant circumstances. Still light, okay, still light, no problem. It's around 6:30. I wanted to sit up to 7:30. If I can, uh, if a delay is caused by matter which is employer's responsibility, is concurrent with a delay caused by a matter which is contractor's responsibility, contractor entitlement to entitlement to Okay, now we come to delays caused by authorities. 8.6, this is different clause, and authorities are involved in this. And this is very important one, and that is A, if is case A, contractor has diligently followed procedures laid down by relevant legally constituted public authorities or private utilities entities in country. Actually, this comes in bylaws and all that. These authorities or entities delay or disrupt contractors' work, and C, delay or disruption was unforeseeable, then this delay or disruption will be considered as a cause of delay under subparagraph B of subclause 8.5 extension of time for completion. Now, if then this delay or disruptor will be considered as a cause of delay under you know under subparagraph B of subclause 8 for the extension of time for completion. Means whatever delay is there due to authorities, if authorities cannot deliver you permit, if cannot clear your site, if there is some encroachment, if something else or some you can say some interference is coming inside, some government line is passing, for example, they have to ship that or something else where they take time, then this time until that service is diverted away or cleared away from site, that extension claim is admissible. That's what it says. Then 87 rate of progress. 87 rate of progress. This clauses is contractual. All clauses are contractual. Therefore, we are moving very slowly because in contracts clauses claims are very important. If you do not understand these clauses clearly and practice them, it's not simply learning the language of clauses, understanding them is very important. And if you don't understand plus and minus of these, you cannot rely on conditions, and conditions shall defeat you. Other party shall rise above you as far as claims are considered. So you may not like at this moment something because of your age, but this is very difficult because sometimes your party, your client transfer this company to another company, like this company in process or something else, then this causes a problem. So rate of progress is very important. Progress of rate of progress, let us see what it says. If at any time, if at any time actual progress is too slow. Actually, I will repeat this extension clause and that one, which is complicated clause, as we said, a clause. Something I just tell you what was that. That was long clause and it was extension of time. That is 8.5. I'll repeat tomorrow as well because there's too much in that. Maybe I missed some. I'm not sure. I have to restudy that. Its rate of progress 8.7. Hmm. Sometimes you have experience, but this contradiction clauses itself due to some over enthusiasm or something, or some inexperienced hand has come on devising this clauses. It seems that there is some mix up of that. People just copy paste and do not edit. That also happens. Copy paste environment works these days, and that also harms everything. People do not do original work, but they just copy paste for sake of delivering that work on certain date as milestone, and then do not check again and again and again. And that's where progress falls, that's where efficiency goes out. So we have to be very careful. This may be FIDIC or whatever, human or human. Why first? So actual progress is so slow to complete works or a section, if any, within the relevant time of completion. B. Progress has fallen or will fall behind program or initial program if it has not yet become program under subclause 8.3 program. Other than as a result of cause listed in subclause 8.5, extension of time for completion, engineer may instruct contractor to submit under subclause 8.3 program a revised program describing revised methods which contractor proposes to adopt in order to expedite progress and complete works. Only a section of RAF and right? Other than as a result of cause listed as said in the extension of time, then engineer may instruct contractor to submit under such a revised program describing revised method which contractor proposes to adopt in order to expedite progress and complete works or a section, if any, within relevant time for completion. So revised program is required. Keeping final dates same, you can say it can be revised program or recovery program. It can be like that, in which you can augment or increase your resources and do fast, or increase your timings, or whatever you can do, expedite. Unless engineer gives a notice to contractor stating otherwise, contractor shall adopt these revised methods, which may require increases in working hours and or in numbers of contractors' personnel or goods at the contractor's risk and of cost. If these revised methods cause the employer to incur additional costs, employer, employer shall be entitled subject to subclause 22. Understand that? Right. Now, mm, means you have to increase the resources no other way. This says that. There's no other way. Human resource, machine resource, time resource, and additional cost may be there. And it says that in this case, number of contractors, personnel, and goods sources, unless engineer gives a notice to contractors state is that otherwise contractors shall adopt these device methods which may require increases in working hours and number of contractors, personnel, or goods at contractors' risk and cost. If these revised methods cause employer to incur additional costs, employer shall be entitled, subject to subclause this, to payment of these costs by contractor. Here is going to say, because you are increasing your resources as contractor, your resources are increasing machines, you are spending money on everywhere, or enhancing time, more time, and all that. You're working together. This means you are spending more money, and in that case, employer is also spending more money because this engineer is there all time. When your people are working, they are also working, and when there's something else, they are also working. Or they have to give fast information, they are working. In that case, if they have to pay for some overtime to their engineers, so they pay, and that shall be charged to you. Additional work charged to you. That's what it says. No problem. It happens then. Now, subclause 13.3.1, and that is variation by instruction shall apply to revised methods including acceleration measures instructed by engineer to reduce delays resulting from cost cases costs. Uh, all right, something else I saw here. I just see that this is a variation, or you can say, shall apply to device methods, including acceleration measures instructed by engineer to reduce the delays resulting from causes listed on the subclause, and that is uh, delay damages. Delay damages. Now, question comes in. Legal question comes in. So far, we are talking about extension. We are talking about variation, which are maintainable. We said that they can increase, we can pressure of resources, extension of time was issued, then variation was issued. Those were within limits of completion time. We want to maintain end time, means completion time same, and we wanted to make start time same, except their extension of time is permissible because of non-clearance of your site, non-accessibility provided to you, or whatever government's obstructions came in the way. The two items were there, either the extension of time, one option was there, and if extension of time also constitutes variation in amount, that would also be counted in is on behalf of government authorities or on the employer or because of technical reasons whatsoever. Two ends, date of start and date of completion were fixed. Provide the extension of time is extended but fixed after extension. These were two fixed points, could not be changed. But now what we are going to discuss after this, we'll review it later on, as one part is very 857. We'll review it later on, but we are going to enter into another clause which is results of delays, you can say, or what delay damages mean. This means clear cut application of damages, or you can say liquidated damages, liquidated damages, LD is so called. That point comes into play now because when because you have to apply contract data genuinely. You cannot favor anyone, and that is delay damages. What are delay damages? Let us understand that. Previously, we used to call it penalties. Sometimes, oh, we'll penalize you, but we used to forget a penalty is not job of contracts. Penalty comes under criminal action. Penalty is kind of sentence, and we are not dealing on criminal action. We are dealing on civil action. But people did not understand difference of this. What is damage and what is penalty? This difference we should understand being citizen of whatever country. We are dealing with civil item. This is contract. We are dealing with civil works and other branches of works which are all civil related because public facilities. There's no element of law involved, criminal involved. How we say that? But is there some other reason for maintaining life of people and you cannot help them? And there can be resulting of crime. But here it's not question. Damages is the item. So we understand that. What is damages? If contractor fails to comply with subcontract 8 to time for completion, that we kept fixed. Now we are removing that cap, that you can say capitulation, that constraint we fix there, we don't allow you to move this. Now it's coming into action, that movement. If contractor fails to comply with subclause 8.2, time of time for completion, employer shall be entitled, subject to subclause 20.2, claim for payment and or extension of time. To payment of delay damages by contractor for this default, delay damages shall be amount stated in contract data, which shall be paid for every day, which shall elapse between relevant time for completion and relevant date of completion of works, or section. Total amount due under subclause shall not exceed maximum amount of delay damages, if any, is stated in contract data. Got it? It says contractor, if delays cannot control, it's fault of contractor. He cannot maintain time of completion due to whatever reason, and delays works beyond date of completion, contractual date of completion. No logic in that, no application of extension in that, and it delays. In contract, there is a provision, or you can say a page of contract. In starting, this is attached with some items for like delay damages, etc. In that case, we have to be very careful. Let us say some contract data says if you delay for a day, you shall pay say 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees or 50,000 rupees or 1 lakh rupees, whatever amount is there, depending upon cost of tender, cost of contract. Even for a delay of 1 day, you have to pay that amount. For delay of 2 days, you have to pay that amount. If you expect extension, when you expect extension, you get it, then we'll see later on. But till that time, we will not pay you this amount. That is called application of LD, liquidated damages. Because we agreed on contract, if you don't finish this work in this time, we shall not be able to use this work. And if we are not able to use this work, what work this work is? We may be renting this item, we may be selling this item, we may be using this item. It may be oil plant, it may be process plant, it may be residential building, it can be anything where commercial value applies. We are going to lose that. So if we are going to lose that, why should we not deduct from yours count? Because you did this for that person, we calculate during contract time what extent we damaged and we should recover. This figure was accepted. Per day we will recover this much as damages to whatever happens. We don't count that. This amount we will get from you. This amount we shall get from you. That is what it says. But this amount is also not unlimited. Say it is 10,000 a day. You delay it for 10 days. Let us assume, so it is 100,000. But we capped it. We capped to an extent that maximum delays can be, damages can be, say, 10% of contract sum. 10% of contract sum or maximum 15% of contract sum, which may be particular to mechanical projects. But generally on civil, it says, because civil is big amount, so this is 10% of maximum. If it is written, if we agreed, then we cannot deduct for more than that. If it's not agreed, then no, we will charge 10,000 rupees per day or dollars per day until whatever number of days you delay, that is different. But generally we define that expecting or assuming that this party will not profit more than 10% from this project. So actually that profit deduction comes into picture because you can't apply 100% because that party has got majority, that party has spent money. That again let us see. That's so simple. And future. This point, if you can understand, it's okay. That is called liquidated damages, but it is very difficult. It's not that easy. So what I explained in this clause, I will let me read again so that it's clear to you. If contractor fails to comply with subclause 8.2, time for completion, employer shall be entitled, subject to subclause 22, claims for payment and or EOT or extension of time to payment of delay damages by contractor for this default. Delay damages shall be amount stated in contract data which shall be paid for every day which shall elapse between relevant time for completion and relevant date of completion of works or section. Total amount due under this subclause shall not exceed maximum amount of delay damages, if any, stated in contract data. These delays damages shall be only damages due from contractor for contractor's failure to comply with subclause 8.2 time for completion. Other than in event of termination, under subclause 15.2, termination for contractor's default before completion of weeks. What it says is these damages, what it says about, these damages shall be only damages due from contractor for contractor's failure to comply with this clause 8.2 time for completion other than in event of termination Under subclause 15.2, termination for contract is default before completion of works. These, these delay damages shall not relieve contractors. These damages shall not relieve contractor to uh, delay damages shall not relieve contractor. Delay damages shall not relieve contractor from obligation to complete works. Then this is maximum, delay these damages shall not relieve contractor from obligation to complete works or from any other duties, obligations or responsibilities which contractor may have under any errand or work. Now, work has to be completed despite delays and damages. You can't say I have paid damage, I am not responsible. No, 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 no. You have still to complete. Despite your paying damages, you have to complete this. You can't say no. These delay damages shall not relieve contractor from obligation to complete works or from any other duties, obligations, or responsibilities which contractor may lead. But now, what shall not relieve contractor from obligation of complete works or from any other duties, obligations, or responsibilities which contractor may have under or in consequence to that. Now let's go further. The subclass shall not limit its contractor's liability of delayed defect. Now, what to say? Subclause shall not limit contractor's liability for daily damages in case of fraud. Subcontract subclause shall not limit contractor's liability for delay damages in any case of fraud, gross negligence, deliberate default, or reckless misconduct by contractor. So this is very difficult clause. In fact, we have to discuss in line because there are more on this. It's not simply we end at this clause because there's some more provision practically on this which we it's not given here, and that is on contracts. In case say we recover 1 crore from this amount, say we recover that. It depends upon what. Say there's a contract of 500 crore, is 100 crore. So if per day is so it can be 10% say maximum. If it's say 100 crore project, 10% is 10 crore. If it's a 500 crore project, it's 50 crore. So let us assume we recover 20 crores depending on each day. And this is so far we got. But contractor resulted to be smart. He overacted. He enhanced his force, strong clock working, and brought more machines and more materials. And he processed very fast and can maintain quality. And at end, he met your date. But you recovered. So what you do? You have recovered 20 crores, but contractor is completing practically on same date because he smartly acted. He thrice his power, or he brought some more people, and they completed job in time. So what shall happen? Nothing shall happen. You have to pay back his LD, and that's all. You will not pay any interest on that, but LD you have to pay back because you owned it for that period. It's with you without interest, but it has to go back. That is procedure. Just to save that money which he lost, he may spend that money on machines intellectually, brought machines, brought people, give more money, and try to, maybe he subcontracted further, and he tried to finish that. This is beauty of this clause, that you are also trapped, same way contract is trapped, both are trapped. You can't benefit if he cannot benefit. If he loses, you benefit. If he doesn't want to lose, he want to spend, then you cannot get. That is this one. So this is very difficult clause. First of all, you cannot directly apply. You have to notify contractor, giving 28 days notice. We are going to do that, or you expedite work to proceed. And if he says, yes, I'm going to do something better than this, give me some time, then it's better not to recover. Or if he says, no, do whatever you want to do, then that is recover it after you notice. Otherwise, you shall be in problem. There will be investigation feature that you provided him. You extend it to him undue advantage. That can be investigation conducted against you. Why did you allow him undue advantage? Be careful. This is stirring clause, not stationary clause, dynamically clause, which only you have to keep an eye on this. Therefore, application of LD is not easy. It's difficult to. Now, let us say employees suspension, employer suspension. Suspension. Maybe you heard suspension, this action has been suspended, that is, you are saying something about contracting company. And we are also going to talk about employer. In fact, both can suspend each other. You will believe it or remember, I don't know. Both are empowered according to law to suspend each other. Maybe you are surprised here, but surprise won't pay, facts will pay, and it's a fact. So what to do? That's the point, what to do. Engineer may at any time, engineer may at any time instruct contractor to suspend progress of part or all works, which instruction shall state dates and causes, cause of suspension. What is that? Engineer may at any times instruct contractor to suspend progress of part or all of works. Which instruction shall state date and cause of suspension? Now, during such suspension, during such suspension, contractor shall protect. During such suspension, contractor shall protect, store, and secure such part of store. Alright, so let's move. If contractors, if contractors suffers delay, yes, it's right. If contractor consequences of employer suspension, if contractor suffers delay and on incurs cost from complying with engineer's instruction under some clause 8, 9 employer suspension. Let us see that. I think I moved this clause. Let's hold on. Also, no, yeah, it's that. I was advanced unnecessarily. Yes, yes. Engineer may at any time instruct contractor to suspend progress of part of work, whole works, which instruction shall state date and cause of suspension, and during such suspension, during such suspension, contractor shall protect, store, and secure such part of whole of works as case may be against any deterioration, loss, or damage. जब तक ये सस्पेंशन रहेगी, ये जिम्मेदारी है कॉन्ट्रैक्टर की, सब चीज़ों को जो भी बनाई है उसने सही तरह से रखा जाए, सेफ रखा जाए, ये जरूरी है और रखते भी होंगे। ऐसा नहीं है जो मैं बता रहा हूँ सच है, और भी हाँ। During such suspension, everything is to be protected, store or secure such part of all works, all and case may be against any deterioration, loss or damage, which means if curing is required somewhere after suspension, you have to cure. If some other thing is required, you have to do. If you have to protect steel rebars, you have to protect by plastic covering. Whatever you think shall be harmed or dust particles you have to cover, you have to keep your stores professionally safe. You have to keep your site professionally safe. You have to keep whenever you want, whenever comes here, see, everything should be securely done so that it gets no objection written on any document, and we establish ourselves that we are talking on your doing this point. So we go further now. Let's say 5-10 minutes more. Now, to extend that, cause of such suspension is a responsibility of contractor. Mm. To extend that cause of such suspension is a responsibility of contractor. Subclause 810 consequences of employer suspension. 811 payment for plant and materials after employer suspension, and 812 prolonged suspension shall not apply. So what it says, it says now 810 consequences of employer suspension. अब उसके क्या होंगे रिजल्ट, वो बात कर रहे हैं। सस्पेंड तो कर दिया। Now, if contractor suffers delay and or incurs cost from complying with engineer's instruction under subclause 8.9, which is about employer suspension, and or from resuming work under subclause 8.13, resumption of work, contractor shall be entitled to subclause 22 claims for payment or extension of time and or payment of such cost plus profit. Contractors shall not be entitled to extension of time or to payment of cost incurred in making good. In making good, Consequences of contractor's faulty or defective design, if any, workmanship, plant or material and or any deterioration, loss or damage caused by contractor's failure to protect, store or send. Now, very complicated as well actually. Contractor shall not be permitted, shall be entitled EAT because of his own mistakes. Because contract payment or to payment of cost incurred in making good whatever contract did wrong. Fault of contractor, defective design, defective workmanship, plant of material, whatever. Any deterioration, loss, or damage caused by contractor's failure to protect, store, or secure in accordance with subclause B employer's suspension. Means payment for plant and material after employer's suspension. What it says? Contractor shall be entitled to payment of value as at date of suspension instructed under subclause 8 employer suspension of plant and materials when have not been delivered to site. Then work of plant or delivery of plant and or materials has been suspended for more than 20 days and plant and or materials 28 days, I'm sorry, not 20 days, 28 days, work or plant or delivery of plant and or materials has been suspended for more than 28 days. Plant and or materials were scheduled accordance with in accordance with programs to have been completed and ready for delivery to site during suspended period. Now we are talking of that. We'll talk it, and I think we will close at this class so that we can talk in general. Plant and material were scheduled in accordance with program to have been completed and ready for delivery to site during suspension period. And contractor provides engineer with reasonable evidence that plant and or materials comply with contract and contractor has marked. So it says what? Once the reasonable evidence is shown that plant and materials comply with contract and contractor shall contract has marked plant. No, what is said? It's very, very complicated. So contractor has marked plant and materials as employer's property in accordance with engineer's instruction. So here, everything shall be paid, whatever has been purchased or has been ordered to be purchased within that period before suspension date has to be paid to contractor whatsoever date, and that is employer's property. Until we have to see later on when work is reinstated, but that's what is required here. We'll take up this prolonged suspension later on because it's not easy to run fast on this issue because there is prolonged suspension and resumption of work and then test on completion. So we'll take care of your memories. We'll talk on this matter next time because this is a very complicated clauses in this case of time of extension and delays, which is actually disputing way, disputing chapter, and these actually create liabilities for both parties. If you are not, it's a delay due to suspension. It's very complicated, and this actually happens now. Now it's not force majeure there. It's a kind of force majeure which we'll discuss later on, which is maybe coming sometime later. Force majeure, which is very much illegal, but our people are not clear, unfortunately. Our real top people, they don't have clear idea on this. They are very much idea this operation. Find pleasure in that. That's why I'm there. Alright, no, we have to make sure that we understand all these clauses carefully. If you have to work in field, it's not a poem, it's not a story. These are very serious matters because question of payment, withholding payment or releasing payment, neither party should be extended injustice. And it's duty of engineer to ensure neither employer benefits nor contractor benefits. Ultimately, both liabilities shall go to end user because contractor is not user, employer is not user. As real user is end user who has to pay to purchase that item. So it is something for unknown that we are working for, and we should not work illogically. We should think and then apply logic. Start one. It's not simply one. Contracting is not that easy as we think. It pulls you, pulls both parties into love and dispute both. You feel very happy when you enter into contract, but you also do not know what you have signed, and it is duty of professional who is there in between two, and that professional is the engineer. I prefer only those engineers who are experienced in field with pragmatism, arguments, not only for sake of design alone. Yes, you do everything, but within limits, within everything you do. And that is very serious matter which you understand. And if you do not do that, you cause harm to either party. If engineer does not care for these clauses, he has to sit silently, understand, read, analyze, link. It's not only analyze, you have to link these clauses, and after linking, you have to apply these clauses to your project and ensure whatever language you have used, whatever instrument you have used, whatever construction interpolation is coming out of that should be realistic. It should neither be redundant nor be deficient. It should be true. Because you know technical job, you know how it works, everything you know, you should know it rightly, correctly. Otherwise, otherwise no use. You have to bear losses. That's all, nothing else. You can't move without anything like that. It's project. And this is not for 1 day or 2 day or 3 day or 4 day or 5 day or only. This is for years together. There may be project for 5 years, 3 years, 2 years. You may be there, not there, who knows? This contract may be there, not there, who knows? Which bank is finding employer, which bank is later on fine, who knows? It's of course everybody should be there, but the thing is guaranteed. It's better to work to convert these documents to standards of professional documents, not like insurance or health care. This is a payment job. Either you pay full or you dispute. You have to pay and the contractor has to deliver you. There is no non-proportional in that. The 70% is for me, 30% for you. No, it's not that. It is one and one and one, that is payment to be made and made and made. Or not to be made, not to be made, not to be made. That much is standard, that much competency we have to ensure. And with this, I close here with the hope that next time we'll go and completely reveal, because I have to some problem in my laptop and I have to solve this problem. I'll take it to some service centers. It's very heating and I have to see that. Thanks very much.